Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your co-pilot into the universe of Chinese. We are going to continue on this flight from one story cluster into another. So 剑拔弩张, we talked about the kind of military tension, and it used the two weaponries pre-firearm age. So one is sword, one is crossbow, and both in the state of ready to go. So that's the kind of tension. I'm using Ukraine versus Russia as the contemporary 剑拔弩张 as a footnote to this word. Interesting thing is throughout the history, 剑拔弩张 many times, right? At different locations, different time points. So but this word 剑拔弩张 lived with us forever, captured in Chinese. And that's, the charm of language. It's almost like a universal truth that you will see that again and again in history. Today, we are going to continue with this military or violence or armed violence weaponry here. 刀光剑影. But we have some beautiful concepts here. Okay, we have dao, we get it. It's a knife, and we have jian. Jian, it's a sword. So the difference between dao and jian is one is kind of a low brow, one is high brow. So low brow is one-sided edge, and you probably use the motion of like this is the dao. Okay, so when we are with a kitchen knife, that's a knife. Okay, imagine kitchen knife is only one side, right? So you just cut. That's dao. And jian, however, is double-sided. So there is a whole craftsmanship and techniques regarding making a perfect sword, right? It can be very pricey. And I can see, like, for warriors who is using that form, that weapon takes years to practice, because you cannot do this. Well, I guess you can do this, but because it's two-sided. So I envisioning the techniques of using sword must be a lot more complicated. It's like two-dimensional, so it's upgraded version. Therefore, it's higher brow weaponry. So, okay, we get that weapons out of the way. We have 光 and 影. 光影 in Chinese are opposite. One is light, one is shadow. And light, the character came from this fire. You see, this is a fire symbol, which is a human stick figure, happen to be looking like a fire, bonfire shape, and two sparkles on the other side. So that's our fire. And the bottom is a human figure. So that's another stick figure, and actually that's a female human figure. So you have fire on top of a human. So what does it mean? Ancient times, we don't have electricity, okay? We don't have lamps, lights they can switch on just like that at any moment, right? Light on demand, we don't have that back then. So it's fire, it's light from above, which is the sun. That's the source of lighting for ancient times, pre-electricity time, right? So that simply means the source of light to earth, the sun. That's implied. It's above you, above a human figure. Isn't that beautiful? And yang, okay, so we have left and right structure. You see it's repeated 3 times, strokes sideways like that. Well, that exactly means a pattern of almost like shadow pattern. Isn't that nice? Okay, the left side means scenery. I guess it's very appropriate too. Scenery pronounced as 景. So here is the sound maker, 景. But I would like to see it as the meaning maker as well, right? So it's a scenery with patterns. And when you see something visually with patterns, oftentimes it got shadows, right? A whole branch of art form, like photography, or even painting, of course, painting, any kind of visual art, light and shadow. Ooh, it's a lot about light and shadow. What's the word? Carol. Oh, there is a word that means light shadow contrast. I'm going to look for that word. Okay, I will show you next time. But it's a big word. There's a special word for that. That means the application of the contrast of light and shadow in art. So here, Chinese formation of this magic 4 phrases oftentimes do this grouping. And actually, you can read it as odd number together, even number together, right? We have 刀剑, and then we have 光影, right? You can say 刀剑光影, but it's not as beautiful as 刀光剑影, right? I hope you get that part. So 刀剑 is the object, the weaponry, the nouns here. And then we have 光影, also nouns, but it talks about light and shadow, the qualities related, depicting the 刀 and the 剑. So 刀, 剑, 光, 影. So these are like a classified, it should be like 2 groups like that. But when in the formation of Chinese magic 4s, oftentimes we pair it like that. So we have 刀, 光, and then 剑, 影, right? So we have that kind of pairing so that you're like visually, for Chinese reader, visually, you have this objects, 刀 and then 光, okay? And then 剑, 影. So it's a better mix. It's not like a 刀剑光影. It's much less effective than 刀光剑影. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So anyways, 刀光剑影 simply means the event or activity when 刀 and 剑 are in busy use, that you can see the light and shadow from it. It means the event of killing. Okay, so I just search up 刀. This is 刀. This is 剑. And you see you have to unseize the 剑 before you can use it. 刀, you can just raise it and use it. Okay, that's about it. Cash into the currency of thinking by just one word a day with Sophie. See you another